Hello all, this is Raghu from the Department of Visual Communication. And in this video, we're gonna see about various camera movements which makes your frame look good. The first thing is static. Static is generally placing your camera somewhere and there is no movement from the camera. Say there is no movement from the camera, which means there is no primary movement. Instead, you will be having lots of secondary movement. First, primary movement is something where your camera moves, and secondary movement is something where your subject moves. And in this particular static scenes or static shots, your camera will be placed somewhere and your subject will do a lot of action. The subject will move from left to right or right to left. They may drive, they may fight, they may sing, but the camera will be still. The use of this particular static shot is that the subject can enact whatever it wants and the camera will focus on the subject and people can easily connect to the subject's action or emotion. The next camera movement is tilt. Tilt is something which is used to show the muscularity of the character, like the superlative of the character. Say a powerful subject is there and submissive subject is down there, and this camera will go from low angle like this to this, will show that the subject which we are showing is powerful. Or else the camera will be like from this to this, we can show that the subject is submissive. Tilt is usually done to establish the background also. Say if a subject is focused in the frame and I just wanted to show the background, I just show the subject like this and then tilt the camera from low to up. As simple as that. Time to go. Next, pan. Pan is exactly the same what tilt does, but instead of moving the camera vertically, move the camera from left to right or right to left. Here, your camera will establish where the subject goes or where the subject is coming from. Pan is usually done in this way to just establish the subject's activity or subject's movement. And in this pan, there's a subcategory called whip pan. Whip pan is done exactly the same way what pan does, but here the camera will be in like way faster than normal pan. For example, I'm just showing here, and I want to show someone who's knocking the door. I'll place the camera here and I do a whip. That's called the whip pan. There's a lot of example for whip pan in movies. Like they'll be just panning the camera like this and this. The next camera movement is push-in. Push-in is simply attained by putting a camera somewhere and moving it slowly towards the subject. And here we can show a lot of facial expression of subject. Say I'm just placing the camera from the mid and pushing it slowly towards the subject and showing the close. There the subject can be established in a better way and we can just see and observe the expression of the subject. And the push-in shot is usually done in many emotional scenes because it can easily convey what the subject is about to say and it also can express what the subject has inside his heart. Next one is the pull out. Pull-out shot is usually done in the entire opposite way what push-in does. Say, I'm just showing the subject so close and I just want to put my camera backwards and I can establish where it's happening. Say, if I'm working in a laptop or something, I want to, the cameraman is showing myself and the next thing, the camera have to show where I'm working. So that's a point where the camera moves out and the whole place will be established. The next thing is zoom. It's so simple as many of us will be knowing it. Just placing the camera and putting the tight button on, we can zoom the subject and show the facial expression. And there's a lot of difference between push in and zoom, and I'll explain that in the next classes.
உனக்கே உயிரானே என்னாலும் என்னை நீ மறவாதே நீ இல்லாமல் எது நிம்மதி நீதான் என் சந்நிதி கண்ணே கலைமானே கன்னிமயிலென கண்டேன் உன்னை நானே.
And the next thing is crash zoom. Crash zoom is something which you do like a whip pan, which will be like the camera will be on the particular subject and the zoom will be done like this. The subject will be get crashed and we can show lot of actions in the subject. Say many fight scene or stunt sequence uses this crash zoom so that the audience will be like getting into the nerve of the subjects, what it's doing and what it want to do, what gonna happen next. These kind of stuffs will jump into the audience mind.